Y'all, job searching in China is not what it used to be, okay? I feel like the videos that are on YouTube about this topic are often either made by white people or people who have been in China for years, and so therefore they do not have the experience that new people are having trying to break into the market. But it is horrible. It is so horrible. And even today, I just been through so much with my school and also with other recruiters. And I just want to talk about it because I think that the resources that are out there are not really that helpful. I think that, yeah, there just needs to be more updated information. And so if you're here for the drama, because I will be sharing screenshots, or if you're here for just general, like, validation for the struggle that you're going through in getting a job, this is the video for you. Okay, so after the country started opening up in I think like late 2023 or whatever, it's just been progressively getting worse for Black people, or just like honestly non-white people in general, to find a teaching job in China. These schools, they only want white people. And I know they're like a lot of the time they're doing it for the parents, but I also just don't understand why it's happening now. It seems like it's like getting worse over time rather than getting more open-minded over time. So I think if there's any school teachers in China who can give some background as to why, whenever I ask recruiters, they're just like, the market's really bad right now, and they don't really explain why. But yeah, I came to this video because I wanted to share some screenshots that I've got. I've been collecting these for months. These are just some of the best screenshots. So I'm gonna put them on the screen. Okay, here's one. Pause if you want to read. Okay, here's another. I got like four. No, I got eight. I got eight. Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because it is so for real. It is so for real. The audacity that these schools have, especially for the price that they're asking for too. And when you talk about this, white people get mad. And I'm like, why are you mad? You're the one benefiting. Whenever I, whenever it's brought up on like the China related Reddits, they're just like, well, I don't know. I don't see it. And it's like, well, of course you don't see it. You wouldn't see it. Um, or yeah, there's just people that are like, yeah, I've had schools where the parents come in and they're like, why are you hiring Africans? We want native speakers. And it's just like, I don't even know what to say. It's just a mess. It is just for real a mess. And again, as I always say on this channel, if I did not love China, if I was not committed to China and learning Chinese and building a life here, I probably would not be here. But I think that it makes sense that a lot of people are still trying to come here because in China, like, this is pretty much the best pay you can get for teaching English. Definitely in Asia, and I think honestly, compared to a lot of the rest of the world where you're being able to go to a non-international school, for example, like you can have an entry-level job and be getting paid like good money, honestly, and have benefits, health insurance, they'll pay for your housing, pay for your children's school, stuff like that. But like I said, it's been getting a lot worse. And even today, I had my school like try to send me to a whole nother province without asking me. And it's just like, you're playing. You are playing. You are playing with me, and I don't like it. And so I just went back out into the market and I was just kind of like seeing what was up. And let me show you this message. Look at the amount of jobs. The hashtags are the jobs that I was like, these positions are open and I'm interested in them. And she immediately was like, none of them are hiring non-white people. And I'm just like, none? And she was like, yes, none. And I'm just like, for context, school starts next month. Y'all not getting desperate? Y'all still racist? and school starts next month. Who's gonna be teaching the kids? It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable these days. And I truly, I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. I like really want to sort of message and maybe interview some. I know that there's a lot of like Black South African teachers who have really gone through it in terms of the experience of obviously being Black and being a teacher in China, and have experienced, you know, what it's like to what it was like to go through lockdown and with these schools and be paid a really high amount, and then watch the offers be, you know, tank down to like 40% of what they were. And I think a lot of them have gone on to get extra teaching degrees so that way they could apply and move on to international schools that don't prioritize your looks, they prioritize your ability as a teacher, which is what school should be about. But again, I just think that entry level jobs, especially like since the double reduction policy has passed, have really gone down the gutter. And what's left is just like not good options at all. And oftentimes not legal options either. So I think I just, I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. And I don't know, like, I want to have this channel where I give advice because I like want people to be able to come to China and like experience like a really good life. But also, I have to be real in that it is hard. And so, I guess I wanted to provide some tips for if you are still really interested in coming to China. Here's some things that I would give for if you're still looking for a job. So, first, I would set aside months, like book in 2 months of daily communication, texting, job applying, being able to do impromptu calls and interviews for these jobs. The school season begins, spring semester starts late February, early March, and then the fall semester starts late August, early September. So obviously, months before those seasons start, that is when the most jobs will be hiring, especially in the summer, because the ones in the winter, which is what I'm experiencing, oftentimes are hiring because someone quit. And why did they quit? You know, why did they quit? So, you know, obviously, if you can stretch it, you know, try to do the fall. And again, just be ready to be constantly talking and move at a very fast pace. Another thing that I will suggest is to do your own research about the double reduction policy and the labor laws in China, because they will write into your contract like very illegal things, such as you will have to repay your visa if you quit, or you will have to get your salary deducted if you're late, or just other things like that. Or a big one, if they make you work at another location. You cannot work at another location. Your visa is for one location. If they make you work at another location and you get found, you will be deported, possibly jailed, and fined. So do not play around. Like right now, I'm seeing positions that are like, we want you to work at a university and also a preschool. And so it's just like, is the preschool inside the university? Because if I get caught, I will be going to jail. So do not play around. Unfortunately, the listings or the in the contract where it's like, we will deduct your salary, it's illegal, but oftentimes they won't get rid of it. So just know in your pocket that it's illegal, and that if they try anything, that you can get them in trouble for that. But another thing that's illegal is if they don't pay social insurance, which again, you kind of have to choose which things you want to fight on and which things you accept. And if you want, I have like a link below where you can ask these like more detailed questions to find out what is important to you in a contract, what's important to you in a job. But yeah, it is a lot. And I do recommend putting in that work to do the research. That way you can go into these negotiations not getting messed over, because they will say anything to your face just to get you to sign on and get there. And then, especially if these jobs are like lower quality ones, you know, that are just looking to hire just literally anybody. Something else that I would recommend is being open to second and third tier cities. I thought that this would be easy for me because I actually didn't even want to be in Beijing or Shanghai or Guangzhou or Shenzhen, which are first tier cities. I wanted to be in second tier cities and even third tier cities. But what I will say is that um, I think on the flip side, a lot of people want to be in Beijing and Shanghai specifically. And I would just say to be open to the other tier cities, because that is likely where you will be able to get your foot in the door and where they will not be as picky when it comes to race. But also, what I will say is that you want to look at the population, and I really would not take anywhere that is less than probably 6 billion people, which sounds like a lot. I'm sure for a lot of people in the US, like that's a lot of people and that's a lot more than where you come from. But what I will say is that I think the smaller the city, definitely the more amount of weird racist behavior that you will experience in terms of inappropriate touch, just weird things being said to you, just things that are not pleasant to experience. Like you will still experience them. You do still experience stuff in larger cities. Like that is still the case. It's obviously less at a less level because they see foreigners more on a daily basis. But yeah, that is my advice. And yeah, again, just keep your head up, you know, and I understand that this may be your dream, but also, you know, don't put yourself in a bad situation. There's always options elsewhere as well. And you never know where your your misdirection, or no, what's the word? You never know where your redirection will take you. And I'm accepting that as well, which is very hard. So, you know, if things keep happening and I end up in Thailand like the rest of the Black people my age, then so be it. But I would like to make that money because I got bills to pay. So, I'll still try to thug it out here in China. It is definitely rough. It is not what it used to be. And I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry for everyone else experiencing the same thing. And if you want to commiserate down in the comments or just talk about how ridiculous everything is, please do, because I'm also tired of hitting up my friends talking about the same things. So we'll love to communicate in the comments. And yeah, if you don't know, I'm Ebony. I post about all things being Black, queer, and disabled in China. And yeah, I am on a daily posting journey to post for 60 days here. And I think tomorrow, well, I don't know what's going to come up tomorrow. I was supposed to do a video about finishing the things that you should know before coming to China, but they was making me mad. So I made this video. So we'll see what comes next. Maybe a video about being queer in China, but we'll see. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow.